Babe? Babe, oh my god, wake up. Come on, hurry up. You're gonna miss the annual Bruce Juice video. Hey, yeah. Sorry for the, extended hiatus. I've just been adjusting to things now that I have a real job and discovering that I have a lot less free time to make quote-unquote videos. So, oops. Well, anyway, I gotta put something out before 2024 or else I'm not legally allowed to call myself an anime YouTuber anymore. Or at least that's what my lawyers tell me. So let's see, what's something I watched recently? Oh yeah, here's something. That's anime, right? Is anime? Come on, YouTube lawyers, back me up. No? No, okay, well, we're just gonna roll with it. You've probably heard of Invincible. It's that show where J.K. Simmons stars as a verbally abusive mentor who puts way too much effort into traumatizing a single teenager.
Say it louder! I'm upset!
The whole first season mostly centers on the discovery that his character, Omni-Man, is a villain. And while it's tempting to boil the whole series down to, hey, what if Superman was a huge asshole? There's a lot more depth to be found in the burden it places on his son, the titular Invincible. Because this kid's grown up believing these powers are meant to save people and not to become a murder machine. The main reason I want to talk about this show is because Season 2 has come out, and because it starts in a place where Omni-Man is absent from the story entirely, I think it's gone in a lot more interesting places. The first few episodes are focused on the destruction Omni-Man left behind, and we get more time with characters like Mark and Eve working through their trauma and shit. The Guardians and other space folks get some love too. We get some world building, we make room for new characters, and expand the already fantastic voice cast.
Wow!
Oh, did you know the actor behind Shapesmith also voiced another superpowered extraterrestrial named Sonic the Hedgehog? They have a lot of similarities if you think about it. Like, Sonic is from the planet Mobius, which if you read the Fleetway comics, you'd know is actually... But the real star of this season is Sandra Oh's character, Debbie Grayson. She's grieving after Nolan left, trying to move on from this relationship tarnished by years of lies and other horrors, and it is heartbreaking stuff. She's left with no closure, no sanctuary of support from her community, or from her son who's just moved out of the house and has plenty of his own issues to work through. The time we spend with Debbie is so well deserved because, in the previous season, her and Omni-Man's relationship raised questions about Nolan's humanity. Like, that was the whole point. But now, she is so much more than an accessory to his character. This is now her story, as much as Mark's. Both of them trying their best to escape the specter of J.K. Simmons and not let him rule their lives.
She's not your pet.
So all of that's been great, but one scene really got me in a maybe I'll revive my dead YouTube channel just to talk about it sort of way. It's towards the end of episode 2, where Debbie is by herself, and in one moment, all of the pent-up frustration and despair catches up with her, and she finally breaks down. It's a huge turning point for her character, the start of her road to recovery, and for a show that so heavily relies on action and quippy one-liners, something this grounded that succeeds with so little dialogue really stands out, you know? It feels profound. So... let's say I'm a YouTuber who hasn't made a video essay in years, and I want to justify how I feel about this scene to a bunch of people who don't remember why they're subscribed to this channel. I guess what I might do is try to sound smart and look for some deeper meaning here. Like Debbie is occupying this empty house where she and Nolan raised a son together, and you can see that it's kept in stasis, right? There's the pair of ducks in the foreground, everything's orderly and clean. The house itself, in an earlier scene they've said has been rebuilt, mimicking their life before, so Debbie is allowed to keep pretending that everything is okay. And the cabinet represents these unattended problems that she's willing to ignore, which is why it keeps creaking open whenever she's reminded of how things are not what they used to be. And it's especially fitting that repeated visits to the liquor cabinet are where she encounters this frustration because it's her method of masking pain, which is clearly unsustainable. So when she's forced to reckon with it and fix what she isn't equipped to do, she becomes literally unhinged, like the cabinet door, and, yeah, I'm running out of steam here. Even worse, that kind of analysis feels cold, right? When I first watched the scene, it didn't click because of symbolism. It was immediately felt. And attempting to explain all that feels like it's defeating the purpose? Maybe it's better to say the scene succeeds because of emotional realism. Because of the nuances in Sandra Oh's acting. And that it all evokes a relatable scenario. We've all had moments where emotion gets the best of us and we take our anger out on something inconsequential, but in real life, there is no symbolic meaning to the cabinet door. It's just an irrational and pathetic and embarrassing display of violence. So when Mark enters the scene, there's clearly no need for dialogue because the characters are experiencing emotion in this way that's authentic to real life. You know, it's like verisimilitude. That's a word. I feel like I'm getting warmer, but at the same time, I'm reminding myself of that blue curtains meme. You know, the frickin' blue curtains thing? You just substitute broken cabinet for blue curtains here. And if I asked a bunch of high school English students what they thought, they'd probably agree, yeah, the cabinet door was placed there with intention, but it would be stupid to view it as a metaphor. It's not useful. I mean, in any case, does it help anyone to describe why a scene works for twice as long as it takes to watch it? I mean, why am I doing that? Am I stupid? Those fake high schoolers I made up in my head are calling me stupid. On second thought, I don't ever want to adopt this cynical, incurious attitude about art. I don't want to view the media I enjoy purely as content to consume or entertainment with nothing to say. Especially in film and animation, there are all these other pieces that come together that complement the narrative in ways that, yeah, I find hard to put my finger on. Like, if we go back to this scene, even if we're not looking for any symbols, there are all these artistic choices that actually make a difference. I mentioned the way Sandra Oh performs her character. There's also the sound direction, the purposeful use of silences, the way that this destruction is animated in an almost more brutal fashion than the actual gore in this show. The layouts are more dynamic, the blocking fits the character relationships. I mean, if I'm left wanting for anything, I guess Invincible could do a little more with the color palettes and stuff. Maybe to improve the mood, you could use, I don't know, blue curtains? I guess that's all to say a picture's worth 1,000 words, which means an 8-minute video essay is worth exactly 1 platitude. Well, listen, I can't say I'm entirely satisfied with how I explained why this cartoon makes me feel things, but you know, media criticism is hard. Maybe if the point is to distill into words what was created to express something beyond words, then maybe talking about art in general is just pointless. You ever think of that? I mean, maybe we should all just stop. Let's stop talking about art. The end. That's the end of the video.